Angela, is there a limit to the number of community users an organization can have?
Well, Angela, that depends on how you decide to license it. By default, ArcGIS Hub comes with 100 community users, and that's really just for organizations to kind of test out, get their sea legs in terms of like understanding how they might use the community. But if you want to have more, you can buy them in usually units of 1,000 at a time. However, like I mentioned, if you really want to do it well and you're a state and local government, for example, there is an unlimited option. You can buy. It's unlimited. You can buy it once, or an annual subscription for an unlimited option, and then you never have to worry about how many community members you have. So there is an unlimited, yeah.
So the system has no limits.
Right.
The licensing provides options for you to buy in blocks of thousands and or have an unlimited option if you really think there's going to be a lot of people engaged on this. So, okay.
Yep,
really
good
cool.
value there. So
a few more. So another question. So how different is this from other website development apps like Wix?
That's a good one. Yeah, Hub's a little bit Wix. It's a little bit Eventbrite. It's a little bit a lot of things. Yeah. So I would say what we aren't trying to be Wix, but we are trying to be as easy to use as Wix. Yep. Like where my goal is like you don't have to know HTML or CSS, but you can obviously customize it.
How you could do a ton of great things in minutes without coding.
Right, and I think another difference between us and Wix is that we are really gearing this towards highlighting your geospatial content. So the fact that we have a map card. And the fact that card lets you, search for scenes or other things is important. You'll see it later on. We have events in the system today. Those are spatially enabled. So soon you'll see like the ability to easily map your events and where those are to see if they're fairly distributed. I think it's just the nature of the spatial content. The fact that those galleries let you search your content from your ArcGIS Online organization and just pull that right in, pull in a survey. So it's Wix, but it's geospatial Wix. It's GIS Wix.
Organization. So more powerful in that sense, but with the same kind of instincts that we want to make it so easy to use.
Exactly.
Anyone could tell a great story, highlight their initiative, and get people engaged. So.
Yeah, pretty. Make GIS pretty.
Yeah, there you go. So another question. If an ArcGIS Online publisher creates the Hub site and then you need to move or transfer it to another person, can this be done? I get that as kind of collaborating. Can you have multiple people collaborating around site or initiative development?
Yeah, you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think Alan's going to show a little bit about teams, but when you create a site, by default you get a team to manage that. So you have a core team, and so you can add somebody to your site to be the core team managing that site. The other thing to note is that sites are items in ArcGIS Online fundamentally behind the scenes. So whatever you can do with an item, you can do in ArcGIS Online, you can also do with the site. So if you need to transfer ownership, I believe that's possible as well. But
So we have some power users in here because these questions are like, I can tell people are actually using the product right now. So
they're waking up.
That's really cool. So, asking about a group limit. I believe it's there's a group limit in ArcGIS Online. It is 512. That is true. Hub creates groups in Online to manage users and content, and there is that limit in ArcGIS Online for groups. Another question, just to get through these, is can you link operations dashboards or other apps into ArcGIS Hub? Absolutely. I'll actually show an example of this in the next section, and Brenda showed how Survey 123 can easily be used. So we absolutely want you to be using these other amazing Esri apps to tell your story. We had some questions earlier about story maps. Story maps, powerful tool, can be integrated into Hub initiatives and launched off.
And I didn't show it, but you can also, I just showed one main site page, but you can have one site, the main home page, but you can have multiple pages on your site. So you can, choose to serve up your content, and you can also make those pages, individual pages. You can share those with select groups or teams, so that when I showed you how a follower, when they sign in, they saw a survey on that page. Imagine a follower or some other team member signing in, and now they see a whole new page to the site show up just for them. So you might have an internal page that shows up with instructions or dashboards that are just for internal staff. So that's one thing I want to mention is good point, trigger a thought. a single site can be used to serve many different audiences.
Yep.
And you'll see this is really important when you start thinking about initiatives and collaborators around initiatives. It's like a single site can be used for your staff. It can be used for the general public, and it can also be used for kind of these in-between groups like trained volunteers or close collaborators who need some sort of content in between. So instead of creating 3 different sites or having 3 different portals or places people go, one site, one central place to come and get the information based on the audience and their.
Awesome. And you highlighted kind of the version of that was showing the survey and not showing the survey when someone's logged in as a kind of a demonstration of that. So a ton you can do in there, get really creative. So we have some. You answered a couple of the design-oriented questions that were in here. So we had a question on how can I display more than 16 cards in a gallery? Well, maybe you want to think about what Brenda suggested about maybe not having 16 gallery cards, but thinking about a sub-page,
right,
or launching off into something else.
I've actually done that myself. So like I have a site I built myself as a site of sites, and I started making. I'll just give you a tip. I started making really big galleries. And then I found that I actually liked making smaller galleries. And here's why. I liked being able to control how it looked. I liked being able to have like the card be wide on the page or have 2 on a page. So, and then I found like I liked being able to reorder those galleries. So I found personally, myself working on a site, I really liked multiple galleries, and you could always put those galleries in rows right next to each other, and so it looks like drag out 2 gallery cards, and then it looks like you got 32 or whatever. But I personally, working on it, found it much more flexible to have smaller bite-sized galleries that I can manipulate easier. So that's just me.
Yeah. And
so
you
I never
get a chance to flex these design muscles and get super creative. So,
and then I did like where your point, Alan, like, sometimes a gallery of so many things gets overwhelming. And like I started breaking those things up into tabs on my site, pages or tabs, so that it was easier to find the content at the top.